Hey guys, it's Nashauntae. Welcome to my channel. So today I just wanted to share with you guys two of my newest pieces that I created here in Botswana earlier this week, and they're really reflective of my journey of self-discovery and self-acceptance over the last couple of months. So the first one is titled Free in My Bubble, and the second one is titled just simply Love Yourself. So let's just get right into them. So starting with this first, I had an idea of what I wanted to represent, and I needed a strong bold background just to be more of a statement so that the final image would really pop. So once I did the background, I started drawing in some circles using just random objects I had, so using the actual paint itself and the lid off one of the other paints. And then I started to sketch in the outline of a female inside of the biggest circle in a just very like calming and zen pose. Once I was done with that, I began outlining all of the individual circles, which are ultimately going to represent a bubble. And then it was time to start filling in the female figures. So I started with an outline in just a dark brown, and then I went in and again I used this ugly color. I don't know why I mixed this color, but it was just the base coat. So I just continued to proceed with that color, filling in the space, and then finally I went over it with the better shade of brown and adding in kind of the shading and the highlights, which really brought it all together, and I was actually really happy with it by this point. Lastly, for the woman, I just needed to do her hair, which is always a struggle for me, but I essentially just went in with a brown background color, since a brown base color, since the background was already black, and then layered it with some black accents, and then added a bit more brown and then a bit more black again, so you kind of get the sense of some texture and depth in her hair. And this is how it was looking so far. I was actually really happy with it at this point, but now it was time to really get it to pop. So I just went over with a thicker outline of the main bubble with a little bit of a blending to give it that like illusion that it was translucent. And then from there I added in the color. So I've never actually painted a bubble before, but I just seen a couple pictures and I figured, how hard could it be? Just kind of do sections of maybe like 3 or 4 different colors, and then just kind of blend it along with the white, and then adding in the highlights and other spots, I guess, to make it seem like it's a clear bubble. I don't really know, to be honest. I was really winging it and just hoping for the best, but at the end I think I'm really happy with how it came out, and I feel like it looks like a bubble. So I think that's all that matters. So I just kind of kept going through and just layering on whatever I felt needed to be added as I went. And then after completing the larger, like the main bubble, then I just went in and applied basically the same technique on a smaller scale to the other bubbles in the background. Some final last minute touch-ups and she was done. Here she is, guys. This is free in my bubble, and it's kind of just a play on the common phrase being trapped in a bubble, but taking a more positive outlook on it. And for the second painting, I went in initially with a light purple background, and I wanted to add a little bit of texture. Fortunately, I didn't have like my heavy like texture gel that I do back home, so what I did was just use thick blobs of paint without brushing it in, and then just kind of let that sit and dry overnight. And then the next day I came back, and with it dry, I completely took a more abstract feel to this whole painting. So I just started tracing out some random shapes of blobs, and I wanted it to be kind of a monochromatic feel, so just using different shades of purple, I started coloring in the different shapes, and then went in with a black background for the remaining empty space, just so again that the purple would kind of really pop. And then lastly, I was happy with it, but I wanted something a little more, so I decided to use the same colors, but offsetting them and doing an outline of all the individual shapes, so they pop even a little bit more. I really liked how that final look turned out. And then I started to draw the outline of the woman, but it's a very abstract view on woman. I wanted to stick with just like shapes, so circles, ovals, etc., to kind of give that shape of a woman who's kind of just standing in a pose. And so I just drew that out and outlined it with a thick white outline. And then I decided I wanted to just kind of add like a little heart with love yourself inside of it, to really represent the name of the piece. And then originally that was where I had planned to stop, but then I decided, I remembered that I had the glitter, so I went in and outlined the outline with the silver glitter. And I think that really made the figure pop. And then here's the final piece, and I think it's self-explanatory. It's really just about loving yourself and embracing who you are in its most abstract form. And then here's the two pieces together, which I am absolutely in love with. I'm really happy how they turned out. They're very different, but they are still very meaningful to me. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the videos as much as I enjoyed creating the pieces. As I mentioned, these pieces have a personal connection to me and my growth, and hopefully they've spoken to you as well. Please be sure to like the video and let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And of course, please subscribe for more art by Nachauntae and to continue following my journey here in Africa. I'm going to be going into the city later this week, so I'll be able to share all of that with you guys next week. See you.